So, hi guys. Let's wait a few minutes. Hi guys. So, do you hear me? You can see me well? Guys, please write me in comment. Do you hear me well and do you see me well? Guys, please drop the plus if you hear me well and you see me well. Okay, perfect. I see. Yes. Perfect. Guys, I'm so happy you're here, and this is my first live stream. So, we will talk today about the topic how to become racing driver. And I have a guest, Jessica Rampezzotti. And of course, I will connect her now. So, Jessica, can you connect? Hi.
Hi.
So,
Hi.
guys, let me introduce Jessica Rampezzotti. She is in a process to get the racing driver license. And yeah, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you, Olga. Very good. Super happy to talk about it and explain you as much as I can.
Cool. So, can you tell us how did you get into the racing in general?
Okay, racing. Let's start from my childhood when I was a baby. My dad always been a passionate of cars, engine in general. My mother as well. So we've been a lot into cars. We always been into cars, and I grew up with a dad that was super important. Even if I was a woman, that I had to know how to drive properly. So the first time I got the license when I was 18, the first things he did, he sent me to track to improve my skills because he used to say you have to know how to drive. You have to drive properly. And that's how it all started. I grew up with that. Cars was everything about. On Sunday, he used to work a lot, and on Sunday, every Sunday, we had to go around with him in cars. We had to okay. Let's start. Let's say that in the past was not as much as speeding cameras, was not as much um, as security as now. So we were able to go and say, let's go on the motorway and let's go a bit faster. Let's try the car. And that's how it all started. My brother is the same as I am. So we are all like this in family.
Okay, that's cool. And what was your target back then? What was your goal?
What was my goal? You mean?
Yes, back then in
Back
childhood
then, back
when you
then,
started.
I always loved driving. I always felt that when I was going into the car and driving, I always felt I needed to push myself more and more. And I had to, let's say that was not never enough for me driving. Even if I was going fast, even my skills, I always felt when I was jumping the car, I always felt that I had to improve myself. So I think, and it was never enough fast for me. Was like it's something that I think you have inside. Unless you have it, it's hard to explain. You know, it's and that's how it was.
Okay, and you had a break from racing, right?
Yeah, of course, because I moved to London. I went to I went to live in London and study fashion. So I studied fashion. I started my own label. I had my son because I have a 17 years old boy. So I had my own life, and then I was driving there, even if the seat was different. But I always felt, even if I was in a country, that most of people used to tell me, "Hello, why you drive in London? So much difference because the seat is on the right,
Yeah, sure.
le- instead
Yeah,
of
I
the left."
actually was trying to drive with the right seat, and
It's not that easy. You know
not at
why it's
all.
not that easy? Because even the road is different. So you feel
Yes,
like you feel like the line of the road is different, should be there,
yes.
not there. So it's. But I always drove even in London. But I was a lot into fashion, like most of women. I would say most of
Hmm.
teenagers. So I studied fashion. I did my own label. I grew up my son, and then when I went back to Italy, that's when it all started, I would say.
So now you're back on a more professional level, right?
Yeah. When I moved back to Italy, to tell you a little bit of the story, when I moved back to Italy, okay, I would say that I started my own club, which
Hmm.
is Swan Rally. It's a club only for women on supercars because I wanted to mix lifestyle, women, and supercars. So I think my experience, even in London in fashion, it took me to more that side of lifestyle because that's how I started Swan Rally with my business partner. We started together, and I always told her I want to mix like lifestyle, luxury, everything that is luxury into women and supercars. And the more I was doing like events for Swan Rally, the more I was going to test drive cars, maybe to organize dance for rally events. That's
Hmm.
when I started to go on track, and I felt like, oh wow,
Yeah, that's where we met actually.
that's something that I really miss. That's something that I felt like it was inside of
Hmm.
me. I never stopped. I felt like, wow, this is what I need. This is what it's a bit of a racing and track. It's a bit of an addiction, I would say, because the more you go on track, the more you want. It's something that is it's hard to explain for someone who doesn't go, but the more, and especially when then you move on to racing, even worse, because once you try the adrenaline, the emotions, everything you have inside for that gives you the racing, then it becomes a pure addiction. And so that's how I started to go on track, and that's
Okay.
when I felt like it's not enough. It's not enough once in a while a track day. I need to do a little bit more. And also for my club, Swan Rally, for me to be become a pilot,
Hmm.
become someone who's doing racing. It's also close like the circle of what I'm doing, because yes, I have my club. Yes, I own supercars. Yes, I do many things in with supercars,
Hmm.
but becoming like a proper racing pilot, how you call it, it's something they're really, I'm really into it.
So, what do you want to achieve in motorsport?
Okay, shall we start to say first about the license, because I'm just
Okay.
getting the
Yeah,
license.
sure, sure. You can tell us about the license. How did you get it? Let's go through the process.
Yes, of course. Okay, so that's how I started. The more I was getting into track, the more I was getting into, I want to try to race. I want to
Hmm.
have that feeling, and the more, and then I choose my racing team. I choose a team because there are many teams you can choose, many teams, and that's an advice I give even to people who are listening, who are questioning, how do I start? Where do I start? And I think the best option is to choose choose a racing team for sure, because you need to have someone who helps you to go through each step. And the first step is like applying for a national license.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm Italian, so this is the national Italian license. So I applied for this license, and it's very easy. You have to do like 2 hours of course where they
Mm-hmm.
explain you everything about track. They explain. It's actually very interesting because, to be honest, when I was getting into this class from
Mm-hmm.
Aci Motorsport, I thought, okay, I know everything. I'm like in the past 3 years, I'm living in track. So on the track, so I know everything, but that's not true because you learn many, many more things that maybe sometimes when you have a racing team, they fix you, they put you in the car, they do everything for you. So you don't realize how many things there are behind that you don't know. You actually don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And so I started with this course, and when it came out, I was like, "Oh my God, I loved it! I loved it because I learned many interesting things." And after that, I had to do many health exams because you have to do
Mm-hmm.
this exam. I don't know how to say in English. I'm sorry. It's like with the electrics, and
Okay.
they put it in your. It's like a helmet of cables, and they put it on your head and they test your neurological it's a neurological exam,
Okay,
so
cool.
you
I
have to
didn't know
do.
about that.
Yeah,
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
yeah. You have to do it because it's for your reflex to see if you are, because when you're going like 300 and more a kilometer per hour, you have
Mm-hmm.
to, they have to make sure to give you, to check also your head. And so there is this test. Then there are many other different exams which are more healthy for health, to see
Mm-hmm.
if you are in a health, to see if you have any sicknesses, anything like that. So it's lots of exams. To be honest, the to do a national license, the worst part was like the exams because
Okay.
many things, many appointment where you had to test. So it was blood exams, all these things. So it was a bit of, and this is those exams you have to do each year.
Okay.
So each
Mm-hmm.
year you have to redo the exams because the health exams are very important to see your statue of health, for you to race.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the national license. Then
Okay.
I thought, okay, national license is interesting, but what I would like to do, my dream in the future for sure,
Mm-hmm.
is not enough Italian license,
Okay.
national.
So you want to move forward. You want
Yeah,
to. You
yeah,
have
yeah,
the
of
bigger
course.
goal.
Of course. This is my problem, Olga. Each step I'm doing into race, into supercars, is never
Mm-hmm.
enough. I want to move always
It's
more
not
and
a
more and
problem.
more
It's your
and more.
superpower. It's cool. Okay. So what is your goal? Tell me. Where are you
So
moving?
this is
So
what I did.
you already have the international
No,
license.
no, 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 no. I
National.
did the national, and I'm doing now my international license.
Okay.
To apply to international license, so what is to get the international license is racing. So you need to do 5 races. You have to get 5 qualification into the race. So qualification means you have to be qualified, because if
Mm-hmm.
you crash, if you go too slow, or if you anything that is not into the category, you don't get the race, you don't pass the race. So you have to pass 5 races. So now
Five separately from the national
this is
or
separate. This is
together.
to get the international. No, national, I have it
Mhm.
already. It's very easy to get the national. The problem is to get the international, because to get the international, you have to do 5 races before they give
Mhm.
you the international license.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
it's
And
all clear.
you're moving. I was
So,
reading. You will have soon the third or the
no,
second race.
I'm having the fifth.
Oh,
I did
fifth.
4 already.
Okay.
I did 4 races. they were all races proper from Achi Motorsport, so they have to be legal races. So I did four. I got qualified in four. I got my result, which they were good in all four of them. And now is missing only one race, which is the fifth one
Okay.
race. After I did this one race, I will present to Arch Motorsport all the races I did with the qualification, with the everything, and then they will tell me, yes, we approve you. You got your license. So no, we want one more race. No, we want more. They can choose to give you. They can tell you it's not enough or it's enough. I'm sure it's gonna be enough because I did very good result on those four races. So let's see. Let's see.
So one more race for international
Yeah,
license, right?
yeah. One more race.
That's cool. And when will you have this race?
I'm planning to have it in Valencia because I
Okay.
want to have it because this race, four races that I did, it was on a road. It was a bit of like Monte Carlo Grand
Yes,
Prix,
I
you
saw
know.
it was
Was
just
kind of that.
interesting. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the last race that I want to do is on the grid because with a on a proper race on a proper
Mhm.
track. Also because I think it's much easier for me on a track than on a normal street with a
Mhm.
challenge Ferrari. So so I'm going to go. I'm going to Valencia, I think, in February. It will be, and that's
Okay.
where I will be getting my fully license. There are, I think, two races during that weekend, two or three races, I
Mhm.
don't remember. So I need to pass one. I'll do all of them, of course, but I need one. So the best result, I put it in there, and then I got my license.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, super
So, and
excited.
can you share what emotions do you feel during the race
Oh
behind the
wow.
wheel?
Okay, I'll explain you with all my passion because, to be honest, there is so much. Okay, imagine me arriving on the track on the race where you start the race, and you feel at the start you feel very nervous. You feel
Mhm.
very anxious, agitated, and you questioning inside your brain: it's gonna go well, it's gonna go bad. How do I react? How is it
Mhm.
gonna be? Once I get with my helmet, with all my equipment, everything inside the car, and that, as you know, you cannot almost move. You can move your eyes left or right, but you cannot even move your head because you're locked in with the hands, with everything. You are properly locked. The only thing you can do is keep
Steering wheel.
the steering wheel,
Mhm.
keep the steering wheel, and you cannot move, you cannot do anything. When I get there, everything goes blind in my head. It's almost like I forget what I have outside there. Sometimes I say, even my son, I forget I have a son. In that moment, you get so like emotion, so happy, so you forget about your being scared. You forget
Mhm.
about being. It comes in your what it surrounds you. It's only and exclusively the need of competition. You feel just you want to compete as fast as you can. You want to race. You want to win. Your hands shakes, and your breathing before the green goes on is like. And to be honest,
Mhm.
that's what they told me to do. They told me because I was so nervous that I was like, what am I gonna do when I'm gonna be in the thing and it's gonna be like 10, 3, 2, 1, because it starts
Okay.
from 10, 10,
Okay.
9, 8, and you are like there and they tell you, look, and at zero you have to start, and you
Mhm.
cannot start before zero because you go under minus
Okay. Yes,
points.
that's
They
fair
took
enough.
away points. They took away
Mhm.
points, which are at the end of the day are seconds. So seconds are always important because 1 or 2 seconds is like a lot on a track,
Mhm. Yes.
and And so you see the light and you follow your hand and you start breathing because it's the best solution is at the moment. And that's what they told me. You have to breathe. In breathe, out breathe. In breathe, out breathe. And that's how I did it. And the motion was a lot. But once you start, the green goes and you push you push and you start to go. Everything forgets. You forget everything. It comes out another side of you. I don't
Okay.
even know how to explain. It's so like you're happy, your anger, your competition comes out. You
So you feel a
wanting
lot
to
of
push.
emotions, let's say like that, quite a lot.
Yeah, but first you feel emotion like of more being nervous because you are
Mm-hmm.
kind of scared. And imagine for me it was my first proper race, so I was a little bit really scared. But then after it's emotion, but it's more emotion of being like the best, going
Okay.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The worst is the hands shaking before you start. I remember that weekend, the race weekend. I was going to my team and I was like, guys, what I'm gonna do with this? What I'm gonna do with this? I have to drive with this. And they were shaking like this. And they were like, don't worry, once you get in the car, your hands are like fine. But it's true, was shaking. My hands was like this. I was worried because I was like, they shake.
So, and how you handle that? This is fear and pressure. Maybe you work with sports psychologists, or you plan to work.
Okay, at the moment, I was just dealing with myself, like
Mhm.
calling my dear people around me, asking, they were like, relax, Jessica, don't worry. Even with my team, I was asking um, lots of advices to my team,
Mhm.
and I'm a very human person, so I'm not one of those who are there, I'm fine, I don't know. I'm very I would say introspective. So if I have something I want to tell, I want to ask, how can I deal with this fear?
Mhm.
And they were like, just breathe in and out. That's the best solution, the best thing you can do. um
But do you plan to work in general? Because more races you will have, I think, of course, their experience will come and you
Exactly.
will be able to handle it by yourself. But still, if you
Exactly.
need it, or you don't think so.
No, no, no. I will be working. I will be
Mhm.
working on it. Yeah, yeah. I will be working 100%, Olga. I would say that is one of my, let's say, worst part is that one.
Mhm.
So even my coach told me, Jessica, the way you keep the steering wheel is wow. The way you brake, you can improve, but at the moment it's fine. Everything is higher than our expected. I expect.
Mhm.
How do you say?
Expect,
Expecting.
expect,
Yeah,
expect.
the way you drive it is higher than our expectations. What we need to deal with is more your emotional side because
Mhm.
I'm a very introspective person. So my emotion, it's harder for me to deal with emotion. But I think it's also because, to be honest, it's also because. It was my first races. I
Yeah,
did
it's
four
the
races at the
beginning of the
moment.
way.
I
You're
think after
right.
10
Mhm.
races, you are like, oh, whatever. But for sure,
Definitely,
after those
definitely.
four races, I realized that I want a person that will help me, maybe just before the race,
Mm-hmm.
will help me to deal a little bit with my emotion. Also, because to be honest with you, the emotion are not only before, are also after. Because
After.
after, if it goes well, you're overwhelming of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't go really well, you have exactly the opposite. You get very anger, very nervous, and of course you cannot crush everything. You cannot like take everything
Definitely
and
not.
destroy.
Definitely not. Yeah.
You can. So what are you gonna do? You go in your changing room and you're there, sad. You know that you
Yeah.
want to cry because you are overwhelming. Because when you have so many emotion, everything is higher.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain.
Yeah, I can understand. You probably want to hide yourself and
Yeah,
disappear to disappear for
Yeah,
some
exactly. But
some
even when
reason.
you're
Yeah.
happy, you're too happy. So during race day, the race weekend or race day, any human, but I think even the best pilot,
Mm-hmm.
they are overwhelming of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
normal. So for sure, I will have a person that will be helping me with managing my emotions for sure.
That's cool. And let's maybe finish our conversation with the question. And what would you say to someone who wants to start racing but doesn't know where to begin?
Yeah, of course. Um, okay. The racing, if you want to start racing, I think the best solution is to find your team.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many teams. But depend on what you want to race. I race with Ferrari, but you can
Mm-hmm.
race with Porsche, you can race with Lamborghini. So you have to choose which one it suits you best. Because I'm a fan
Mm-hmm.
of Ferrari, so but doesn't mean that Ferrari is the only one that exists. You can race with any other brands, even McLaren, anything you can race. So you have to choose the brand, then the team.
Mm-hmm.
Then once you have your own team for racing, and the team you can find it in base which brand you wanna drive, which car brand you wanna drive. Once you find your team, then they will help you with everything. They will help you step by step. That's their job. That's their job. And you cannot race without any team, without anything, unless you want to make your own team. But of course, you need to be, I think, in the sector for many years before being able to do something like this. So you choose a
Okay.
team and you start to
And team will provide you everything step by step.
the team will start to take you on the track for track days. They will
Mhm.
see how good you are, how many track days you need before applying for license. Then you need to say as well if you want to race. Okay, you want to race. Okay, after a certain level, you can start to apply for national license. Then, if you want to maybe race abroad, you need international.
Mhm.
Depending also on that, most of people they have national and they're fine. They do the GT Italian GT, and they're perfectly fine with the national. For me, no, because I want to do like international. I want to do like maybe in the future a couple of challenge Ferrari so
Okay, cool.
races. So for me to do couple challenge Ferrari races, they are outside Italy as well. They are abroad, so you need the international one license.
Okay, Jessica, cool. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for sharing this information. It was amazing conversation with you. And guys, thank you everyone who was with us, and see you soon.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Olga.
Bye.
Bye, bye.